All praises to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rakahakadash. Next, I want to give double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders at Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations unto the Lord's elect. To my left here on End Time Headlines. So, article we're going to go through. Iran has shifted its strategy and conflict with the U.S. from a defensive posture to a fully offensive. See, this war is not going to stop. It's going to keep escalating. It's going to keep escalating and escalating and escalating until all players are involved, and all players will be involved. World War III, the War of Armageddon. Thus saith Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. Jeremiah 28 and verse 8. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence. And that's what's coming. According to a report from YNet News, a senior Iranian official has declared that Tehran is abandoning its defensive posture in the conflict with the United States and shifting to a fully offensive strategy if Washington fails to ease its naval blockade within a matter of weeks. The official, speaking to Reuters on Monday, said Iran has given the United States a limited window described as a few weeks to fully implement a previously agreed memorandum of understanding. It goes back to Isaiah 14. You see, Babylon the Great, America is through. It's getting bullied by little Iran, man. Let's get this. And this is through the power and spirit of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. Let's get this right here. Verse 9. Isaiah 14 and verse 9. Hell from beneath is moved for thee, to meet thee at thy coming. It stirreth up the dead for thee. Even all the chief ones of the earth, it hath raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations, right? All they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? You see? Babylon is through, man. NLT, with one voice they all cry out, now you are as weak as we are. Thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vials. The worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. You see? NLT, your might and power were buried with you. The sound of the harp in your palace has ceased. Now maggots are your sheet, and worms your blanket, right? This is going to keep escalating and escalating and escalating until it goes full-blown nuclear. But the RFID microchip, the mark of the beast, needs to be made mandatory before that happens. See, before those missiles fly off in their perfection to destroy Babylon the Great, America. But nevertheless, this is prophecy. 2nd Ezra 15 and verse 28. And it reads, behold, an horrible vision in the appearance thereof from the east, where the nations of the dragons of Arabia, those Arab nations, shall come out with many chariots, many weapons of war, and the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon the earth, that all they which hear them may fear and tremble. Also, the Carmanians, which is the Iranians today, raging in wrath, shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood, and with great power shall they come and join battle with them, and shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians. The modern day Assyrians is America. And then shall the dragons have the upper hand, remembering their nature, that wild man. If they shall turn themselves, conspiring together in great power to persecute them, then these shall be trouble bled, and keep silence through their power, and shall flee. And from the land of the Assyrians shall the enemy besiege them, and consume some of them. And in their host shall be fear and dread and strife among their kings. Behold, clouds from the east and from the north unto the south, and they are very horrible to look upon, full of wrath and storm. They shall smite one upon another, and they shall smite down a great multitude of stars upon the earth, even their own star. And blood shall be from the sword unto the belly, and dung of men unto the camel's hoof. And there shall be great fearfulness and trembling upon the earth, and they that see the wrath shall be afraid, and trembling shall come upon them, right? World War III, a time like no other. See? This is the counsel of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. Verse 20, behold, saith Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, I will call together all the kings of the earth to reverence me, World War III, which are from the rising of the sun, from the south, from the east, and Lebanon, to turn themselves one against another, and repay the things that they have done to them. Like as they do yet this day unto my chosen, so will I do also in recompense of their bosom. Thus saith Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi power, you see? The Lord's going to use all you nations to destroy Babylon the Great, but all you nations will be judged as well. That goes into Russia, China, Iran, Taiwan. All of you will be punished. Let's get it. 2nd Ezra 15 and verse 46. And thou, Asia, all you nations over there, that art partaker of the hope of Babylon, y'all want to be just like America, and art the glory of her person. Woe be unto thee, thou wretch, because thou hast made thyself like unto her, and hast decked thy daughters in whoredom, that they might please and glory in thy lovers, which have always desired to commit whoredom with thee. Thou hast followed her that is hated, and all her works and inventions, right? Y'all follow Babylon the Great. Y'all want to be just like America, man. So Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi got something for you devils, because y'all are all conspiring together to bring forth this wicked demonic NWO, which consists of putting an RFID microchip in people. You see? Revelation 18 and verse 3, for all nations have drunk of the wine. You see her philosophies of the wrath of her fornication. And the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, with Babylon the Great. And the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. You see? Verse 48, again, thou hast followed her, Babylon the Great, the daughter of Babylon, that is hated in all her works and inventions. Therefore saith Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, I will send plagues upon thee, widowhood, poverty, famine, sword, and pestilence to waste thy houses with destruction and death, you see? And the glory of thy power shall be dried up as a flower. The heat shall arise that is sent over thee. Thou shalt be weakened as a poor woman with stripes, and as one chastised with wounds, so that the mighty and lover shall not be able to receive thee. When I with jealousy have so proceeded against thee, saith Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, if thou hast not always slain my chosen, exalting the stroke of thine hands, and saying over their dead when thou was drunken. Right, y'all have slaughtered and oppressed, afflicted, enslaved the Lord's people. You see, set forth the beauty of thy countenance. The reward of thy whoredom shall be in thy bosom. Therefore shall thou receive recompense. Right, because like I said, y'all all conspiring together to keep our heritage from us, to keep us in captivity and subjection. You see, like as thou hast done unto my chosen, saith Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, even so shall Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi do unto thee, and shall deliver thee into mischief. Thy children shall die of hunger, and thou shalt fall through the sword. Thy city shall be broken down, and all thine shall perish with the sword in the field. Right, the Lord sending a mighty sword against all you nations, man. Matter of fact, Isaiah 34. It's for the contrary, for what y'all have done to the Lord's people. You see, this is the reward. Come near, ye nations, to hear, and hearken, ye people. Let the earth hear, and all that is therein, the world and all things that come forth of it. For the indignation and righteous anger of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. He hath utterly destroyed them. He hath delivered them to the slaughter. Their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses. The mountains shall be melted with their blood. You see? And all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll. That's going into the mushroom cloud from them ICBM nuclear missiles, man. Let's get that mushroom cloud. When it says the heaven's going to be rolled together as a scroll, boom, boom, boom. Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi got something for you devils, man. And those missiles belong to the Lord. Y'all created them for his purpose. You see? For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea. That's the Greek way of saying Edom. You see, Edom is symbolic for America. And upon the people of my curse, the judgment. The sword of the Lord is filled with blood. It is made fat with the fatness and with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of the kidneys of rams. For Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi hath the sacrifice in Basra, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea, the land of Edom. Basra and Edom. You see, symbolic for America. Who was the Lord coming back for, man? The day of vengeance is in the Lord's heart. Isaiah 63. Who is this that cometh from Edom with thy garments from Basra? Edom and Basra are symbolic for America. This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Verse 4. For the day of vengeance is in mine heart, and the year of my redeemed is come. You see? For the time has come for me to avenge my people, to ransom them from their oppressors. Right? That's what we're talking about. We're talking about the day of vengeance of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. You see? The spirit of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi power is upon me, because Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi have anointed me to preach good tidings unto the meek. He have sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives, and the opening of the prison to them that are bound, you Israelites, to proclaim the acceptable year of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, and the day of vengeance of our God, to comfort all that mourn, to appoint unto them that mourn in Zion, you see, to all who mourn in Israel, the people of Israel, you see, to give unto them beauty for ashes, the oil of joy for mourning, the garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness, that they might be called trees of righteousness, the planting of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, that he might be glorified, you see. So he sent us to the captives, and who's in captivity? Jeremiah 15 verse 33. Thus saith Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, and all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go. Their Redeemer is strong. We've been impressed right here in Babylon, the great America. Their Redeemer is strong. Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi of hosts is his name. He shall thoroughly plead their cause, that he may give rest to the land and disquiet the inhabitants of Babylon. Right? Because that's where that deliverance is going to come from. The major deliverance is going to come right here out of America, because it's going to be hit with nuclear missiles, all of it. You see, be in pain and labor to bring forth, O daughter of Zion, like a woman in travail. For now shalt thou go forth out of the city, and thou shalt dwell in the field. And thou shalt go even to Babylon, America. There shalt thou be delivered. There Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi shall redeem thee from the hand of thine enemies. Verse 12 in the NLT. But they do not know the thoughts of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, or understand his plan. These nations, you heathen, don't know that he is gathering them together to be beaten and trampled like sheaves of grain on a threshing floor. Right? Let's get that. Luke 21 and verse 24, man. We're at the end of our punishment. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword. That's talking about the children of Israel. And shall be led away captive, you see, into all nations. All you heathen have afflicted and enslaved us and oppressed us. In Jerusalem, the Holy Land, shall be trodden down on the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled. And we're in that time. Joel 3 and verse 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near, because y'all are being delivered to the grim reaper, Yahawashi, you see, over there in that region. And I looked, and behold, a white cloud. That's Yahawashi's fathership, a so-called UFO, you see. And upon the cloud one sat like unto the Son of Man, having on his head a golden crown, and in his hand a sharp sickle. And another angel came out of the temple, crying with a loud voice to him that sat on the cloud, thrust in thy sickle and reap, for the time has come for thee to reap, for the harvest of the earth is ripe. And he that sat on the cloud thrust in his sickle on the earth, and the earth was reaped, right? Because Yahawashi is coming back to wage war against all you devils, man. Revelation 19 and verse 11. And I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse, that white cloud, you see, Yahawashi's fathership. And he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True, and in righteousness he doth judge and make war, you see. Psalms 110 and verse 5. The Lord, Yahawah at thy right hand, shall strike through kings in the day of his wrath. He shall judge among the heathen. He shall fill the places with the dead bodies. He shall wound the heads over many countries, you see. Yahawah is getting ready to set the high score of death, man. He's not playing with you devils. You see? Verse 32. Thus saith Yahawah of hosts, behold, evil shall go forth from nation to nation, and a great whirlwind shall be raised up from the coast of the earth, and the slain of Yahawah, Bahasham shall be at that day from one end of the earth, even unto the other end of the earth. They shall not be lamented, neither gathered nor buried. They shall be dung upon the ground. You see, in that day, those Yahawah has slaughtered will fill the earth from one end to the other. No one will mourn for them or gather up their bodies to bury them. They will be scattered on the ground like manure. See? That great death is coming. Yahawah, I ain't playing with you devils, man. We're just here to tell you. And we're begging for mercy ourselves. 2 Ezra 16 and verse 18. The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? You see? Verse 22, for many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy, and the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them, for the earth shall be wasted, and the city shall be cast down. Right, because Yahawah have spoken this word. Behold, Yahawah maketh the earth empty, and maketh it waste, and turneth it upside down, and scattereth abroad the inhabitants thereof. Verse 3, the land shall be utterly emptied and utterly spoiled, for Yahawah hath spoken this word. You see, through his prophets. Again, Jeremiah 28 and verse 8. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesy both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence. And that's what's coming. War, disaster, and disease. Right? Because and who sending the plagues? Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. 2 Ezra 15:5. Behold, saith Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. For wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. Revelation 22. Verse 18, for I testify unto every man that heareth the words of the prophecy of this book, if any man shall add unto these things, Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi shall add unto him the plagues that are written in this book. Right? Y'all gonna keep playing with the Lord. You see, he gonna devour you with judgments. You see, y'all don't want to hearken to the prophets. Y'all want to follow your own mind. You want to do your own thing, and that's okay. You will be met with judgment. You see, Yahawah ain't playing. You will be met with judgment, man. Jeremiah 14 and verse 11. Then say Yahawah unto me, pray not for this people for their good. When they fast, I will not hear their cry. And when they offer burnt offering and an oblation, I will not accept them. But I will consume them by the sword, and by the famine, and by the pestilence. You see? Then said I, Yahweh power, behold, the prophets say unto them, ye shall not see the sword, neither shall ye have famine, but I will give you a sure peace in this place. Then Yahawah Bahasham said unto me, the prophets prophesy lies in my name. I sent them not, neither have I commanded them, neither spake unto them. They prophesy unto you a false vision and divination, and a thing of naught, and the deceit of their heart. Therefore thus saith Yahawah Bahasham concerning the prophets that prophesy in my name, and I sent them not, yet they say, sword and famine shall not be in this land. By sword and famine shall those prophets be consumed, and the people to whom they prophesy shall be cast out in the streets of Jerusalem, because of the famine and the sword. In Jerusalem a people before is a place, and they shall have none to bury them. them, their wives, nor their sons, nor their daughters, for I will pour their wickedness upon them. Right, the Lord's going to bereave you of children. You see? Jeremiah 15 in verse 5, for who shall have pity upon thee, O Jerusalem, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans? Or who shall bemoan thee? Who shall go aside to ask how thou doest? Thou hast forsaken me, saith Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. Thou art going backward, therefore will I stretch out my hand against thee and destroy thee. I am weary with repenting, and I will fan them with a fan in the gates of the land. I will bereave them of children. I will destroy my people, since they return not from their ways. Shalom.